as the politicians continue to seek support for their ambitions. We see a common trend of defections from various political parties. The gale of defections currently staring the opposition political parties in the face may not come to an end soon, as more opposition figures are defecting in their numbers to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, ahead of the 2027 general election. Lawmakers at the National Assembly have been busy with their political calculations, and quite a number of them are defected to the APC, thus positioning themselves for possible re-election in 2027. Joining us now on this show to discuss this recent trend of defections, as more persons continue to join ship, is Babachir Lawal, a former secretary to the government of the Federation. He will also discuss the role the people will play in the 2027 elections, the chances of the election being free and fair, and the suggestions for a return to parliamentary government or the design of a homegrown system of government. Good morning, Mr. Babachir Lawal, and thank you for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning, Abati and your colleagues. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, let me start on a personal note. Now, ahead of the 2023 general elections, you were one of the strongest supporters of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But you parted ways with him when a Muslim ticket idea came up. And you were saying, no, a Muslim ticket for Nigeria is not good. Well, that Muslim ticket will appear to have been working now. Even the Pope invited President Tinubu to his inauguration. And President Tinubu's spokespersons, they have been abusing you. They say your angst is misplaced, that you should have remained silent. They accuse you of arrogance, bigotry, and irresponsibility. They even call you a grasshopper. And now they say you are supporting a coalition government and all of that. Please, can we start by you defending yourself within this particular context at a time when even Southeast governors, the Minister Umai tells us all of them are going to join Tinubu, and people are declaring for the same man you have been condemning on religious grounds. Let's clear that first before we go into the issues.
Well, Ruben, you've been in government before, and you know how governments are run. You know that going to see the Pope is just a matter of your lobby. How well you can lobby, how many friends you have out there in the Vatican that can lobby for you. So it is not as if it's a major achievement to visit the Pope on his inauguration. It can be arranged in advance by lobbies, probably with the correct inducements. So Bola Tinubu going to visit the Pope is a non-issue. In fact, it reinforces my earlier belief that the Muslim ticket is an insult to Christianity. Had they a Christian as a vice president, it's only expected that he will be the one to represent the government. But now in Nigeria, we have a so-called Muslim visiting the Pope, leading a delegation of Catholics, eminent Catholics, to the Vatican. So it proves the fact that a Muslim ticket is an unfair arrangement. Having said that, about people defecting to the APC, in politics, there are two classes of people. Those who go into politics to get something out of it, and those who get into politics to put something into it. Yes, again, I must say, it's not every Nigerian that can withstand hunger, and not every Nigerian can survive a poverty condition. So most of these politicians that are defecting to APC are probably driven by the desire to safeguard their stomachs and to safeguard their luxurious lifestyles that have acquired while in government using the people's money. So it's to them, it's okay. They can go that way. That's what they choose to do. Now, as to defection, I saw a study last week that showed that 21 governors could not deliver their states to their preferred presidential candidates, which means that the governors have little influence on the voter at the polling unit. Yes, within the party political system, they have some influence since they can rig the party primaries in favor of their candidates. So a senator, for example, who is out of favor with his governor is endangered in that sense. His governor might not give him the return ticket. He can just order everybody not to vote for him. But no governor can influence the voter. Take, for example, Delta State. The vice presidential candidate for PDP was the governor, serving governor on seat. But he could not deliver. Peter Obi beat them flat. I mean, flat. In those days, they said they would deposit if it were during the Obasanjo. So what is it? There are states. In Borno State, it's very well known that the vice president could not deliver Borno State to the APC until they did some magic on the results and so that he's not embarrassed. But we know, the voter knows he had been disgraced woefully. So defection is not, it's just a function of the character of the person. It's a function of the character. Somebody without character will easily abandon you when his interest is threatened, rather than when the interests of the masses are threatened. So that is my position. We are not bothered about defections. It will continue to happen. But I mean, 2027 will go to the ballot boxes and we'll see the results. We are confident that it's immaterial.
But what do you say to the critics who say that you are arrogant, you are a religious bigot, and that you should remain silent? What do you say to them? Because I've seen many comments like that.
Abati, I'm a trained pastor. I went to a seminary 4 years. I came out with a degree in it. I augmented my religious background with a master's degree in theology. So if you call me a Christian religious bigot, I'm very happy. It's a compliment. It means that my lifestyle, my speeches convey the impression that I'm a Christian. So I don't see calling me a religious bigot as an insult. Again, I will not countenance anybody denigrating my religion in any way, in any shape or form, be it in politics or in other aspects of life. If you come out and say a Christian from the North cannot, or the Christianity in the North cannot produce a vice president, it's an insult. And it's to my religion and to my person. So it's a compliment if people call me a religious bigot, because as a Christian, I stand for the truth, which a Christian should do, and I stood for the truth, and I defended my religion. And as God will have it, for those who supported the religion, Muslim ticket because they are Muslims, we go to the same market, and I think majority of them grumble now more than me. Majority of them go to bed without food yesterday, this morning, tomorrow without food, don't know where they are going to get their next meal. So if that is what their religion preaches, you vote people who will push it to poverty, let them have their way. I won't have it.
Okay, let's talk about your stand and the stand of Atiku Abubakar where it concerns the PDP and the coalition. Because I read an interview where you expressed how you've been part of the coalition conversations, and you also said that Atiku has also been extremely active. However, the name PDP has never come up in any of these conversations, that more than likely you are all moving to a new party. I'd just like you to clarify this, because there have been speculation, but there hasn't been a confirmation. So I'd like you to confirm, does this mean that yourself, you'll be supporting Atiku as he moves to the ADC? Because there were also reports that the initial plan to go to SDP has also fallen apart because they say that the SDP has been hijacked by APC. What's your take on all of these issues surrounding coalition talks?
Well, first of all, regarding Atiku, I'm not his spokesman. But my stand with Atiku is that, we are from the same state, and he's an elder statesman in my state in particular. He was a former vice president, an eminent politician. And so, to that extent, I have great respect for him as a politician and as an elder from my state. As to his political ambition, he's entitled to it, like every Nigerian that is entitled to it. It is not for me to decide on which platform Atiku will contest or if he will contest at all. It's for him and his inner circle to decide. Be that as it may, I can confirm that in almost most of the political meetings I've attended with regards to merger or the new political platform, I've run into Alhaji Abubakar Atiku severally. He's been attending. Even just yesterday, I was at one of such meetings, and he was there. So he has been an active participant in the need for opposition political parties to move into one platform to form one strong opposition party. Whether he will contest on that platform or not is not the issue. Now, the way about this is we have a technical committee of experts, experienced experts, who analyze all the possible political parties we could adapt and move in, and strengthen it, and upgrade it, and make it more suitable for competitive elections. That's our main goal. And Atiku has presented himself at all such meetings, and my reading of him is that he's committed to this cause. In fact, he's one of the most committed towards this cause. This I can tell you about Atiku. Now, as to the coalition itself, it is mostly driven by prominent politicians who agree to come together to form this coalition. It is not focused on which political party should form the merger. First, our options are this. Do we get another party that we could move into, modify it, upgrade it, and strengthen it for elections? Or do we register a new political party? We have technical committees of experts looking into both of this. And I am sure, as we speak, we are getting to the end of the process, and I think we'll soon announce a party that will move into, or maybe we'll register a new party. We are getting to the end of that. Nigerians are anxious about this. Every time we go out, people ask you, what of platform, what of platform? Since we are here to serve the people, we are speeding up the process to reduce the tension among our supporters. But I can tell you, in all the analysis I've seen so far, nobody has ever bothered about let's adopt PDP as the platform. We all agree that PDP has an incurable virus. No antibiotic can cure what is ailing PDP. And we don't want to go into a house that we cannot modify, that is not willing to change. So PDP is not in that list.
Okay, real quickly, I have 3 quick questions for you.
The position.
Good to see you, sir, Mr. Babachir Lawal. I have 3 quick questions for you. Number 1, when last have you spoken to President Tinubu? Because he used to be a very good friend before. So since this administration started, have you spoken to him? What's your assessment of the state of play of Nigeria, the economy and security? And thirdly, now that a Muslim ticket has sailed through, will you support a Christian ticket, or for you is a principle of religious balancing? Those 3 questions, sir.
As to when I last spoke with Bola Tinubu, I spoke to him last, I think sometime maybe June 2022, when I went to London to present to him our final report and recommendations on how to proceed with the general election. He had not then, he left me in London and came and announced his vice presidential candidate. Since then, we have not spoken. We have not spoken. There's been no need for us to speak. As to my position on the Muslim ticket now, first of all, it has opened a Pandora's box. Somebody can now come out with a Christian ticket, and Nigerians would find it very difficult to oppose it because a precedent has been set. But not only was I complaining about the Christian ticket because of religious considerations, but because of the sense of equity. There needs to be equity in what we do. If we don't, we suffer the consequences like we are doing now. Because we have not shown equity, we have discriminated against a huge segment of the society. I do believe that part of the punishment we are going through is on account of that. When the leaders decide to practice evil, the society suffers. And that is the reason why, part of the reason why we are where we are now. And I urge you always remember, not only Muslim ticket or Christian ticket, not about the ticket alone, but also about regional balances. People must feel they have a sense of belonging before they can put their energy into working to develop the country and to unite the country. So that is my take about this. And I will not support a Christian ticket in any form, But this man has set a bad precedent, and this is where we are.
So what's your read on the state of the economy?
Is not practiced as the
So what's your read on his economy and the insecurity generally? Some of his supporters say he has done well. They say he's building Coastal Road. They say he's fixing insecurity. They say he's fixing all the bad things. They say he's turning the economy around. That's what his supporters are saying.
I know he has his supporters. His supporters, I think they have cotton wool in their ears, or they are blind. Because the insecurity has increased. It has grown exponentially since the arrival of Bola Tinubu in government. Everywhere where insecurity was not there, it's now grown. In places it was there, it has expanded. So we can't talk of insecurity under Bola Tinubu. They have not done anything. It is as if, in fact, government is training the insurgents themselves because they are so we can't talk about this. This government is better not to talk about insecurity when talking about them. About the economy is exactly the same thing. The poverty has multiplied exponentially. Even those who were doing well feel now threatened that they are next property because the economy has collapsed, completely collapsed. We are just surviving by the grace of God on a hand-to-mouth basis. Everybody. So what are they? They are borrowing money that doesn't arrive in Nigeria before it is spent. Even when it arrives in Nigeria, they spend it on intangible things that we cannot show, that are not measurable, that are not visible. So what are you talking about economy in this government? It's not their intention to. Their intention is to run down this country. That is their intention, which is the surprise because people like didn't know Bola Tinubu to have this type of tendencies before. Okay. But now it appeared that he just deceived us in those days. All along, and now he has gotten the power and is in a mood to ruin the economy, ruin the security of the country, divide the society. Okay,
with due respect, what you are saying is different from what the spokespersons of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration are saying. Only yesterday, the central bank was saying they are moving this economy forward and ensuring stability. IMF has commended this government. The World Bank has commended this government. In fact, politicians from the Northwest, they have also endorsed the Tinubu administration. So how do you justify your statement that Tinubu's ambition is to collapse this economy? No president of Nigeria comes forward to say he wants to destroy the country. You worked under President Buhari. Did he ever say he would destroy the economy? Why would Tinubu's case be different?
He doesn't say it. He doesn't need to say it. He only needs to do it. You are known by your actions. He doesn't need to say it. People from the north, shamelessly, they gathered themselves, drank tea and coffee, and said they endorsed Bola Tinubu. To do what? There's no state in the Northwest that is safe. The poverty level in the Northwest is so huge, it's so terrible. Much more than anywhere else. If their so-called leaders choose that is the path they want, bye-bye, good luck to you. But everybody knows that they are just liars. They are deceiving themselves, and they are deceiving their own people. They have no regard for their people. If somebody from the Northeast, Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, Kaduna says that they endorse Bola Tinubu because his security policy is a shameless liar. He is. What it is that induced them to do that is between them and their God and their conscience. But Nigerians know that it is not so.
Okay.
So that is the truth.
IMF, World Bank, IMF, World Bank, who are not politicians.
Have you ever seen do you have an example of a country that has gone under IMF that came out stronger? The IMF, the World Bank, it's just to impoverish us so that their people can come and exploit our wealth and take it away. Which country has ever fared better under IMF? Which country? Anytime you hear IMF loan or you hear World Bank loan, the economy crashes more. It's all over the world. Tell me, Robert Bati, which country has ever benefited from the inputs from IMF? Which country?
Okay.
None.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us on The Morning Show.